Well, welcome back everybody then to the American Dream Haas playthrough in Motorsport Manager, the Fire mod then. And of course, last time out, first points for the team from K-Mag, coming home in 10th place. Unfortunately, McLaren also got some points, so it means it only moves us up to 9th in the championship. But of course, that is our target. We want to try and beat McLaren as well if we can, and anything beyond that is a bonus. But, you know, we understand that this is going to be tough. That's why we picked the challenge, and it's just about building up the team's resources this year and improving the car as much as we can and make sure we're in a good financial position for next year. So let's crack on with today's episode then. I just want to say a quick thank you for everybody that's liking this video at the moment and obviously enjoying it. I'm glad you guys are liking it. It always seems strange to me when my best series for a while is on a game that's been out for well over a year, but that's the way YouTube works sometimes, isn't it? So I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Right, first thing to address then. We've got the brakes have finished, but we'll address that in a minute. A couple of mistakes last time from the pit crew. And this is probably because we're forgetting to swap them out. So I don't want to punish them too much just yet. But I think we'll try and bring some fresh blood on board. And then we'll get rid of some people if we need to. So if we have a look at who is definitely going to need changing out. So for instance here on the tyres, Cartez is looking pretty tired. The best we've got on the front at the moment is a 10. So we've got a couple of 12s here that we could go for. It's good to have someone that can also do another job, I guess. So I think Goldwaite's probably the best. So we can use him for the rear jack as well. So we'll hire Goldwaite as well. 190,000 sign on, unfortunately. So let's put him straight in for Cartez. Those others that made mistakes, yeah, they are the two lowest stamina. So this does seem to be what's affecting it. So let's put Meccano in for Tapines. Just got to remember if they've got to do another job as well. No, so the fixers are separate on this, unlike the endurance where it's smaller pit crews and they double up on their jobs. And then Solis, we do want to swap out as well, maybe. There's not really anybody to swap him for. We've got Lisik here, who's good on the ERS and the front jack. So who is also responsible for ERS? I don't think we have ERS on these cars, do we? We've got tyres, rear and front jack, and fixing. So I don't think we actually have anybody that has to do ERS in this. So we want someone that's also good at tyres. They're pretty good at fixing. You see, Fujina here is quite good at tyres. And front jack. Lysik's pretty good at the front jack. What am I on about? So let's switch. Yeah, let's switch Lysik with Fujimura. And then we'll switch out Solis for Fujimura. And actually get our stamina up. And a pretty good crew at the same time. Does mean the time's down a little bit. But it doesn't matter so much in here. What you really want to be doing in the... We're going to build a new part, by the way. I'm going to build another set of brakes because that's what we need to improve on most. So we're going to go for deceleration and reliability and deceleration and reliability because we can always improve them, of course. So we'll get those built as soon as possible. So yeah, with the pit stops in the single seaters, because there's no fuel being added at the moment with the current rules, obviously current Formula 1 rules, it means that all you're trying to do is minimise mistakes, really. If it takes, you know, with the best crew, they're probably going to take around 3 seconds. With the worst crew, they might take 4 or 5, 4.5, 5 seconds. It's a couple of seconds lost. As long as they don't make a mistake, which loses you 3 seconds, which then all practically doubles the time it takes to repair the car, to do the pit stop, then that's okay. So pit crew aren't quite as necessary here. We are spending a bit more than we need to. And of course we can maybe look at letting some people go later in the season once we work out how many we kind of need on rotation. So new brakes, we need to switch the performance, and I'll switch the engine reliability over there to see if we can get them ready for the next race. That engine's probably done now, so we'll start looking at maybe the suspension, improving that. And in terms of performance, I'm going to switch off the old brakes because we've got another set of brakes coming. So other areas we're lacking in is rear wing at the moment, so let's try and improve the performance of one of those. And once again, it's changed the slider. Thank you very much, game. And we'll go back to 5.5. So, as I said from the beginning, we're going to give both drivers at least, maybe 6 or 7 races before we make a decision if we want to change any of them out. See how they're getting on. Obviously, it's more important to get the financial situation of the team in shape, and get the car improved than the drivers. I think they're going to be fairly decent, Grosjean and Magnussen. And if we give them a good enough car, they should be able to score points regularly. But we might look at getting a reserve in at some point. But Calderon, it would be quite cool to have a female in Formula 1, to have that honour of bringing the first female into Formula 1. And as expected, high marketability, because obviously there'll be a lot of buzz about female into Formula 1. And with the new system and the way that this mod works, that all drivers can theoretically get to 5-star, but it's unlikely. A driver that's 23 will do so, and starting so far back. But it might be worth keeping her as reserve for the moment. Just see how she improves. Right, K-Mag would like a test track. We're not Ferrari K-Mag. We haven't got that kind of money. I'm sure I can get Ferrari to lend you a 458 round the Fiorano at some point if you want. But we can't test our car there. That's not how this arrangement works. We just take their knockoff parts, which we're going to try and change, hopefully, at the end of the season. Might not even stay with a Ferrari engine. We'll get the best deal we can on engines, I think. Right, I think we're ready for the race then. Okay, cheers, John. Don't really care what you gotta say. Right, we'll go again with 6 and 3. Alright, let's see. I think sponsor selection, yeah, they're all paid sponsors, not results based, which is quite good for us. Means that we're getting quite a good chunk each race, no matter where we finish. And can we get some of those brakes on the car? 71%. It is a small upgrade for a small drop in reliability, but I think it's worth doing. K-Mag has earned that. He's earned the better brakes from his points, so we'll give K-Mag the better brakes. And they do have equal stats, both of them. And that's quite an interesting comparison between two drivers, isn't it? K-Mag is happy that his car's better, and Roman's like, well, at least they're fairly equal. Both of them hate the car, though. Right, I'm going to get practice done and underway then, and I shall join you for the second qualifying session of the season. Okay, we're into qualifying then. Pretty good practice session. The thing mostly of note from practice was the tyres were overheating so quickly. And we've been talking in the comments the last few episodes of this and of endurance and of lots of Motorsport Manager for a while. I'm pretty bad at managing my tyres during a race. It's something I'm going to look to improve on the next few races. So this will be a real test for it, because even on normal, not pushing at all, they're overheating at this track in these temperatures. Of course, this is the Bahrain-like circuit. That's what it's supposed to be modelled on. So it's very hot in the desert, and of course this is a day race rather than a sort of dusk to night race as the actual Bahrain race is. So we're going to have to really keep on top of that. Setups went okay, 95 and 96% from Magnussen and Grosjean. So hopefully we can have a good weekend. As normal with qualifying, we want to try and get on the back of the top 10. I'm not expecting to get into... Well, I was going to say Q3. It really is bugging me that this mod doesn't have Q1, Q2 and Q3 for the F1. Just seems a little bit of a letdown. I mean, at least it makes the episode a bit shorter. The last few episodes have been almost 50 minutes. I'm going to try and get that time down, probably by making the race a little bit quicker. Because it's quite a long time, really, per episode for you guys to watch. But let's see how our guys do anyway. Grosjean will be the first over the line in a minute. I also find it quite interesting how the times are pretty close on this circuit. It's a 38.2 for Grosjean, and Magnussen is a 38.2 as well. Talk about closely matched teammates around here. Yeah, it's quite interesting. The tracks that each one is modelled on, the times are pretty close to the actual times, even though the track layout is completely different. So whether that's purposeful or not, I don't know. I just found that quite interesting. But we're shaking out okay at the moment. We're ahead of a Williams and a Toro Rosso. So it'll be interesting to see if we can stay ahead of them. I'm hoping both McLarens and both Saubers go behind us. Wehrlein put in a great performance last time out. At the moment we're looking good. Lots of people falling in line behind us. And you know, this car is a bit more competitive than I was hoping it would be. It's a good base to start with. Whether we're going to be outdeveloped as the season goes on, I don't know. But at the moment it is a very competitive car in terms of just trying to get those points. So the first two races we've had issues with the strategy. I'm hoping we're going to do much better on this front today and we can get both cars into the points. That would be the ultimate game anyway. But we're a long way ahead of the McLarens and the Saubers, which we weren't last time. And it seems to suit our track nicely. So we'll just give it another 30 seconds or so. So we give ourselves the best track conditions to go out. Now, in the old management games I used to play, like Grand Prix World and F1 Manager, you always had to be careful when you put your cars out on track to make sure they weren't in traffic. I've never really observed whether it makes a difference in this. You would expect it would, but I have also seen cars just drive completely through other cars like they're not there in qualifying before. So I have a feeling that's not really a mechanic of the game. But both our cars out in nice free air anyway. So even if it is a factor, that shouldn't affect them. And let's see how they do. Magnussen looks really on form. And that's represented by his 300th advantage over Grosjean. Really, really close field. I'm surprised the Ferraris and the Mercedes don't have a bigger gap to the rest of the field. Though to be fair, it's a half-second gap between Bottas, Vettel and Hamilton and the rest of the field. It's just Raikkonen. As per in real life, really. Unlike the F1 game, thankfully. Which is horribly unrealistic. Looks like Kimi Raikkonen won almost everybody's championship in the F1 game. Super realistic there, Codemasters. Good job. But it's represented well here. Raikkonen quite a way off those front three in qualifying. Perfect on-tyre temps for both cars. Overheated on the brake temps. So once again, not quite perfect. I'm wondering about trying the old manual again. I'm just so set in my way of having it on automatic. Plus I feel it's the most realistic way to do it. Because it's the driver at the end of the day that is responsible. It feels a bit too gamey doing your tyre temps yourself. Plus I could never get them right. But some people improve, and then Sainz and Ocon have improved. So we're down to 12th and 13th. I think Stroll had a big improvement as well. So we'll wait till they cross the line and see if we can improve them. Alonso, big improvement up to P11 as well. So both our drivers need to pull something out of the bag here. Both are about 7 tenths down through the second sector as Magnussen comes up to the line. Does improve massively to P8 then. And Grosjean, P9. Look at that. 400ths between the pair of them, and they both get themselves into the top 10 on the starting grid. 8th and 9th. And only the Ferraris, Red Bulls, Mercedes and a solitary Force India ahead of us. That's a pretty good qualifying all round, I would say. We can have a good race from there. Absolutely. And they're kind of the positions we're aiming at, sort of 8th to 10th. If we can get both cars in that little gap and be ahead of the main midfield, then it'll be a job well done. But as I said, tyre management is going to be crucial around here. They're going to overheat very, very quickly. And it's a real test for us to see if we can look after the tyres better than we have been anyway. I presume K-Mag's just had that sweeter spot, because I missed that. If it didn't, that would have helped a bit in qualifying, but we'll know that for next time. Now, we don't have to start on super softs because it wasn't the 3-stage qualifying. So I'm wondering if we split the strategies here. If we got about 28 laps, if we can hit the estimated targets, then it's going to be, we might be able to get away with a 2-stop or 1-stop on mediums, but that will be close. I'm going to start Grosjean on the soft tyres, so it gives him the option to do a 1-stop on the mediums. And I'm going to put K-Mag on the super softs, and he's probably going to have to do a 2-stop, but we'll see. We need to look after the tyres as well as we can. So we'll go overtake attack to begin with, just to make sure we get a good start, and then we're going to have to turn it right down once the race gets underway to ensure that we look after these tyres. If that could go away, thank you. Right, we're underway. Race number 3. K-Mag gets a blinding start straight ahead of Kimi Räikkönen in the Ferrari. Grosjean holding station 9th, but coming under pressure now from Alonso, who goes clean past the Ferrari as well. And Magnussen even looking to attack Ricciardo here. Ricciardo, I've never called him that. It's Ricciardo. I don't know which one it's actually meant to be. Do leave a comment if you know how it's supposed to be pronounced. I like Ricciardo more, but I think it is Ricciardo. Anyway, we're blabbering. K-Mag fighting hard with these guys. Grosjean at the back of that pack in 10th. If we can get away with this little group and stop squabbling amongst ourselves, we can have a good race here. Right, we're going to go back to neutral and medium and just see how the tyres do for the meantime. We've got some charge to use at the end of this lap, and let's not forget everybody uses it. We've found from the first couple of races as soon as it's available. So we need to do the same to make sure we don't lose positions like we've been doing. Look at that, the whole field hit it at the same time. Whether that's a bug or that's supposed to happen, I don't know. But we caught it right on the money this time, so we don't lose positions. And K-Mag stays 6th, Grosjean stays 10th. Right, tyres already overheating, so conserve. If I miss stuff on track, so be it. We're trying to look after these tyres this time. We just need to make sure they stay in that window. Right, they're not. I would say they're not coming down quick enough, so let's go to back up and try and get them back to that neutral as soon as possible. We'll take a lap or two, but that's understandable. Hopefully we don't lose too many positions from doing so. Right, I'd say that's starting to come down now, so we'll go to conserve. And just try and get the maximum life out of these tyres if we can. It's where we've been struggling. Because at the moment we're in a great position. Our cars look competitive. Magnussen's probably got a few faster cars behind him. But he seems to be holding them off well. And Grosjean coming under pressure from Lance Stroll now. But keeping nicely ahead of most of those cars behind him. Though he has just lost that position to Stroll. But it's all medium tyre runners behind. So it's the front 11 that are going to get away. And we need to gap those medium tyre runners because there's a good chance they're going to be one-stopping. Which we might be able to get away with Grosjean. It depends if we can look after the tyres properly this time. So they are bang on the money at the moment. So let's just see what was expected. So 12 to 14 out of the softs and 8 to 10 out of the super softs. Let's bear that in mind and see if we keep these perfectly at the line, whether they go that distance. If they don't, then we know there's something inherently bad with this car in terms of the tyre wear. We maybe don't have to watch it so much in future. But at the moment, they're perfect. And they're wearing okay. Right, let's go up to 4 speed and just get through this a little quicker, because I'm trying to reduce the length of these episodes for you guys. I also want to get more than one a week, but with a lot of other stuff going and IRL stuff as well, I don't know whether I'll be able to do more than one. Those tyres looking okay. The Super Soft's losing a little bit of temp, but I'd say there's no need to go back to neutral just at the moment. If it continues to drop, we need to. At the moment, we're holding 6th and 11th. Those front 5 are in a different league today, it would seem. Or at least for the moment. Perez isn't too far up the road. The front 5 getting away a little bit. Right, these are still dropping a little bit, so we're going to go to neutral and see if we can pick it up again. Grosjean complaining about trying to get past Stroll. See if we can use the boost to get him past the Williams. No. Worth a go, I guess. Tyres looking okay. So the softs are starting to lose a little bit of temp. Those super softs are holding on neutral, so I think we'll go neutral with Grosjean as well. And they looks like we're going to get bang on target. It was 8 to 10 laps for the super softs and 10 to 12 for the softs. 12 to 14 and 8 to 10 for the super softs. Right, so we are getting the distance by looking after them. This is good news. And K-Mag is really doing a number on these guys at the moment. He's just flying away from the rest of the field. Right, we need to go back to conserve. We're overheating them a little bit. Let's use that boost now, and he's gonna hit this lap. Are we gonna do a 2-stop with Magnussen? If we think so, we've got just under 8 laps out of the super softs. Yeah, I don't think we can do it on mediums. So I think we are going to be 2-stopping. In which case we may as well use super softs all the way, because we don't have to use both compounds, don't forget. That doesn't really seem to be built into the game. That's a rule set we haven't actually got implemented at the moment. So let's get K-Mag on the super softs again. He can, if he looks after them like that, then he can do 3 stints on the super softs potentially, and he's right on form right now. 9.9. No mistakes in the pit stop. 3.8. That's about bang on what we would expect it to be with the crew we've got. And he's back out into the race. We'll keep it on conserve at the moment. And just see if they go up or down in terms of the tyre temps. Grosjean, meanwhile, is holding on to 9th. And looking okay for the moment. Stroll and Verstappen have made their first stops as well. Grosjean should be able to get another 2 or 3 laps out of these. So he's going to hit target as well. So this is what we need. This is what we need to do. All you guys were right. Surprise, surprise, as you always are. We just need to look after the tyres. Always keep them in the window, and they will get the distance. And that's exactly what they're doing. So I'm wondering if we can 1-stop Grosjean. I don't think it hurts to split the strategies. I really don't. Right, K-Mag being held up a little here, so let's try and get him past these Saubers. He's still struggling. You think we'd be able to breeze past him on fresh tyres. It's really hurting our race. Right, we'll go one more lap after this with Grosjean. And he should be able to get to the end. If we look after them, we should be able to get to the end on a set of mediums. So we'll try the 1-stop with Grosjean. We'll go mediums, car looking okay. And we'll send him back on his way. K-Mag's going to have to do one more stop, so he's really going to have to pick up the pace and start overtaking cars here. Right, tyres overheating a little bit, so let's conserve and go back. We'll be neutral out the pits, because I'm sure these medium tyres are going to be difficult to warm up for Grosjean. We might even have to push, we'll see. We'll also save Grosjean's charge when he gets back out, because that's the problem we have with K-Mag. We didn't save that charge, and now he's really struggling to get back through the pack. Right, Grosjean in. We're going to use that boost from Magnussen and see if he can make up a place. And he can't. Grosjean back out in 19th, no mistakes. And he's on his way once again. Got a yellow flag, off goes Daniel Ricciardo. And he must have stalled it because no contact with the barrier. Right, Stroll. Crash, safety car. Grosjean, you stay out. K-Mag, we're going to switch you onto the mediums and keep you there till the end. I feel it's the right move. Is it the right move? I feel it's the right move. We're going to pit him. Let's go up on low and so we can save some fuel. And Grosjean, yeah, we'll leave him out on those mediums. We may as well. And it's nice to have this times 12 button from the endurance for the safety cars because they take so long this time. But we'll wait till the pit stop's taken and then we'll rush through that. If you think we're rushing through the races too quickly, then let me know, and next time I can go back to 2-speed for the races. It just means, I'm hoping this will mean the episodes come out around about the half an hour, 40 minutes mark rather than the 50-minute mark, which would be nice. Right, so we're actually overheating on neutral, so we'll stay on conserve with both cars. K-Mag comes out just behind Ericsson, so not too far behind Grosjean. So use the time 12 to get through this safety car period then. And we'll see, there's an awful lot of cars here that haven't stopped under the safety car, and I feel that's a mistake for them. So we're going to be restarting this lap. I'm going to go on high fuel, just check the engines. Engine and gearbox looking good on both cars. We've got plenty of boost to use for Grosjean. So as soon as the safety car comes in, we're going to try and get him past as many cars as we can. We've got two medium tyre runners ahead in the form of Gasly and Kvyat, the two Toro Rossos. So if we can dispatch them with the front of the, what I would think is the midfield one-stoppers. That's a terrible band name, by the way. But if you ever wanted to do Formula 1 themed tracks, please do take that name. Midfield one-stoppers. Right. Let's use the boost. Come on, Roman. How is he not even getting close to these Toro Rossos? There we go. He's got a Red Bull to dispatch as well. Tyre temps a bit low for Magnussen, holding good for Grosjean. Vettel's out, yellow flag. It's a big crash from him. And it's two big names out already. In the form of Vettel and Ricciardo. I feel we're just going to go back to 2-speed for the moment, just to make sure we're keeping a handle on this. So Magnussen not really warming up these tyres as well as Grosjean. So we're going to go to push for a couple of laps just to get that temperature in there. And where are we looking? So Grosjean's passed one Toro Rosso, the other one Gasly is in 10th. I don't know that Perez and Van Dorn will be able to one-stop on those softs. Does seem a lot of people having accidents here though, so there's a good chance there might be another safety car, which won't do our strategy all that good. Right, engine and gearbox holding up, so I think we're going to keep pushing for the moment in terms of fuel. We need to bring K-Mag's tyres back down as quickly as possible. So this is what I think we need to do. I think we need to be more extreme when they do overheat or need heating up. We need to go to one extreme or the other. Just to get them to where we want them as soon as possible. So we're in a real scrap here, which isn't suiting us. Really isn't suiting what we're trying to do here. I'm going to use that boost for Grosjean, just try and get him away from that Sauber. And see if he can do anything about Verstappen ahead. But Verstappen's got to stop again. And we're close to the points now. We've got a 7 or 8 second gap to those that have just stopped for softs. So there's a good chance of some points here. As long as our guys hold it on the road and don't lock up or anything or do anything stupid to their tyres, we should be okay. Right, we're going to go back up to 4-speed because I feel I'm happy with the tyre temps now. And we haven't got any charge or anything to do, so it's just all down to the drivers now, really. K-Mag needs to... Problem is he's got Kimi Räikkönen ahead of him. And Räikkönen seems on... Well, he did. Magnussen's just passed the Ferrari. I don't know, have our engines just gone up $2 million because of that? Possibly. Let's use the boost to get it back. Just for TV time. Oh, he's got past the Sauber for good measure as well. The Sauber's just unleashed from boost. But we're through to 10th. Grosjean up to 9th. Tyres dropping a little bit for Grosjean, so we'll try and warm them up. We've got plenty of fuel. Really lots of fuel, which is surprising. It's not going down very quickly, which is good news. So 7 laps to go. Tyres 67 and 64%. I would say they're easily going to make it. They've already done 8 laps. So they should be good. They'll be a little worn towards the end, probably. That should be no problem. Engine and gearbox still holding up well. Just going to try and get Grosjean away from Magnussen a bit here. I don't want my two guys... Oh, big mistake. Pierre Gasly running wide, trying to make a move on Van Dorn, who's in 5th. And Gasly's actually got straight back past Magnussen, and Magnussen's got straight back past Gasly. Let's use that boost to try and get away. Grosjean complaining about his brakes. That's nothing new, but to be fair, they are at 27%. Not much we can do, though. And our two drivers now going head-to-head. This is what we don't want. We don't want them squabbling. Right, we need to conserve on Grosjean. Probably do the same with Magnussen. We've got plenty of... Why is the fuel not going down quickly? This Ferrari engine must be really, really good on fuel. Because we've still got a massive excess. Even though we've been in rich mode for quite a few laps now. Right, Grosjean, we're going to go to back up just to try and take that temperature down a bit. And we're in a great position now. There is one hell of a queue behind us. And this could go either way here. We could hold on. Tyres okay, tyres okay. We could hold on to 7th or 8th. I feel K-Mag's faster. I really do. Let's use that boost and see if he can get past. He can't. I don't want team orders. I really don't. I feel like Grosjean is backing Magnussen into a world of pain here. And now, yep, he's got an issue with his brakes. There's not much we can do. There's only 3 laps left, or 2.5. Yep, I'm just gonna... There's nothing you can do, Roman. We're gonna go back to 2-speed for the final few laps then. And just hope that our two drivers can hold on. Got plenty of fuel to use. Engine and gearbox are looking okay. Just brakes on both cars again. Grosjean now complaining about not being able to get past Kvyat, though he's not really made a move in the last 20 laps, but sure, Roman, fine. What do you want us to do? Pull you in and put you on some super softs for a lap and a half? Not going to happen, my friend. Alright, some boost being used from Kvyat there. We've got much better tyre life than Kvyat. As the leader, Lewis Hamilton, leading by a huge 12 seconds from Bottas. Ferrari not having a great day. Really not. Obviously Vettel out. Raikkonen back in 10th. So it means that Fernando Alonso is on for a podium here. But that is not our concern right now. Right, we've got plenty of fuel to use. I'm going to go straight into overtake mode. Probably should have done that earlier. Just see if we can't get Kvyat. I think it's going to be too late. We've got plenty of tyre life as well, so we may as well go to push. Again, way too late though to take 6th, but this is going to be a much needed result for the team. And quite possibly Haas's best joint result in Formula 1 as Grosjean crosses the line in P7, Magnussen P8. That's a nice haul of points for the team. Oh, Perez beat out Fernando Alonso for 3rd. Poor Alonso. Actually, that's not good. McLaren having a stunning race there then. Taking 4th and 5th. How did the McLaren Hondas do that? I guess that Honda engine likes the desert sand. Maybe that's the missing element to their cars. Possibly. Scrutineering check. May as well get rid of this box because we're never ever going to break the rules again after our very first few episodes in this game over a year ago now. And there we go. Lewis Hamilton takes a demanding win from Valtteri Bottas. Perez must have overtaken Alonso on almost the last lap to take Force India's first podium of the season. Great result from McLaren, which means our result isn't quite as impressive now, as they take 4th and 5th. Kvyat in 6th, Gasly in 9th. So good race for Toro Rosso as well. Great race for our two drivers, just a second apart, taking home 7th and 8th. 10 points for the team. Kimi Räikkönen a very lonely 10th there. And Sauber just missing out on their first point, which is good. Because remember, 9th is the minimum. We went for an easy target just to make sure we could get the car together for this year. And that means we move 10 further points ahead of Sauber. And Max Verstappen, really bad race as well. So it's a very strange race, and one I would have loved to have seen on TV in real life. That would have been a cracker. But it means Grosjean up to P12 in the championship. Kevin Magnussen actually dropping to 14th because of McLaren's great results. And in the constructors, it means we move above Williams and Renault to go up to P7. And McLaren jump from 8th to 5th as Mercedes take a demanding lead over Red Bull and Ferrari in the constructors. Wow, good race, really good race. I think I haven't really been heeding the advice quick enough. It's been there for a long time. Just tyres. Always make sure they're in that working range and you get the distance. And that showed the difference today. Big boost to morale for Grosjean. Both drivers improving a bit. Small improvements for our reserve. I beg my pardon. How rude. A little bit of gas escaped there. So he's incredibly happy, Gene Haas, as you would expect. Double points finish for Haas, and 4 million in the bank means we continue to make good dollar as a return. And Mick Schumacher winning in Formula 3. I would love to get Schumacher in. He's going to need some training up and maybe someone that we can bring in the future. But winning the championship with Schumacher again, that's a tempting prospect. That really is. But that is for another time. That is going to be all for today. Hopefully it's a bit more of an acceptable length. I mean, no one's complained about the length of the episodes, but I just feel 50-minute episodes for you guys is a little bit over the top. But as always, keep your help and advice coming. Let me know who you think is going to win out in this battle between K-Mag and Grosjean. I think, unless anything drastic changes, we will be keeping them for till the end of Season 1. Purely because they don't cost much. We're building the balance well, and they seem to be able to race well as well. So, yeah, let me know who you think is going to win out in the end. Help and advice as always. If anybody else knows anything more about the pit crew and how best to manage them, that would be pretty helpful as well. If you're new to the channel, you could like the video just to let me know you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel to see more. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.